my friends, Jacob's here one more time. Thank you for pressing play, for spending some quality time with me in a reality that has now completely jumped the shark. It's gotten so incredibly ridiculous and predictable that, like, even this movie I'd walk out on. Did you hear that President Donald Trump actually reshared or reposted or retruthed? Truth Social. What is truth? He retruthed a post that basically was saying that, that President Biden was executed in 2020 and replaced by a robot clone. Yeah, no, I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. He posted this out like some wackadoo goofball like Archibald, who was on the show just recently, warning us about the clone that is Biden. You think that's bad? You see Biden at his last press conference? No. Why? Yeah, depending on which Biden you're talking about, Dex put out a picture of two different Bidens that look like the same day video being shared. I don't know if it's real, but I'll tell you one thing. You see Biden at his last press conference? What? That Biden with his eyes wide open, that video, like that, talking like this. His eyes were open? Looks like they did some kind of clockwork orange on him. What is the President of the United States, the greatest country in the world, what is the President of the United States retruthing that for? Is that a distraction? Is it something to grab all the headlines? Let's forget the fact that he really just kind of made a big deal with Palantir. You know Palantir, Mr. Thiel, Peter Thiel, the guy who's real tight with Elon Musk, who is now fighting off rumors that he's a big-time drug addict because he was in an interview and he was moving his head all weird and everything else. I don't know if you know, he had neck surgery. I think, I didn't know this. He had neck surgery. Yeah, I learned about this just a little while ago. So you move your neck around a lot. You know, he's probably a little bit on the, he's probably a lot on the spectrum, right? He's a super bright guy. I don't know. You know, it's like, if it wasn't him having to stave off rumors that he's doing drugs, it's the the people that I enjoy retweeting as a goof and commenting on, because of course he had the black eye and everybody's like, oh, he's in the black eye club. You know, the black eye club. You know what I'm talking about, the conspiracy out there that all the big time celebrities, they got to do something and they get a little black eye. I think it's a little sus that everybody gets one, but this kind of looked a lot like Botox to me. And I'm thinking, like, if there was ever a club, he's the guy who's in charge of the club. I mean, I'm just saying, he's the wealthiest man in the world. He's the most connected, most powerful guy around. You know, it's strange. President Donald Trump himself had an entire press conference honoring the man.
Something we have here, thank you, a very special, that I give to very special people. I have given it to some, but it goes to very special people, and I thought I'd give it to Elon as a presentation from our country. Thank you, Elon.
They gave them the golden key. You know the golden key? Gave them the key to the kingdom. Do you know the key was given to a certain ruler over the abyss? That's an interesting thing that we talk about on the channel. It's in scripture. The symbolism, though, of the golden key is not lost on me, because the keys of the kingdom I just shared in my AI video, which if you haven't seen, you should see. It's really great. I just posted it yesterday. The keys of the kingdom. Whatever you loose in heaven will be loosed in the earth. Whatever you bind in the earth will be bound in heaven. Whatever we believe becomes. As a man thinketh, so he becomes, so he is. This is all over scripture. Power of creation is in our tongue. But somebody's creating a reality that's gotten just ridiculous. Okay, so listen. He put this out, President Trump, before I get back into all of that stuff with Palantir, who's his guy. You know what they're planning on doing, by the way? They're opening the books. They're opening like a digital book of like everybody in the United States. I don't know if you remember back in 2020, Trump did the census, which was interesting. The census was done before Christ was put to death. Remember they went around during the census and Joseph and Mary had to leave? It's very biblically and significant. I did shows about the fact that he was doing a census in 2020. But the question becomes, if you're posting out something about 2020 where he is executed, which would mean that he was found guilty of certain crimes, which is wackadoo unless it's true, why would you say such a thing?
Shot, okay?
He's shot.
The guy's shot.
He's shot. He's shot.
Biden is shot. You know he's shot, right?
He's shot.
He's shot, just so we understand. We cannot have a leader that's just about half shot. How's he doing? Not well. Joe is shot.
It's shot. It's shot. Where it is, look, this guy is shot. He's shot. That's Joe Biden.
Shot. He is totally shot, okay?
Well, that would mean that he was probably in charge the whole time. And if he was in charge the whole time, then you got to think about the mandates and you got to think about all of these other things. And once again, all of this just stemming from a goofy little thing that he retruthed from a guy named Elijah. Not spelled that way. There is no Joe Biden executed in 2020. The Post states Biden clones, doubles, and robotic engineered, soulless, mindless entities. Entities are what you see. So a guy named Elijah, spelled differently, he truths this out, and then President Donald Trump retruths it, knowing that every single big-time newspaper on planet's going to be like, oh, look at our president. He thinks Joe Biden is a robot. And he probably is. I mean, let's be honest. You know, if you're thinking about it, he probably is. He even moves like one. But it sounds crazy to be even saying such a thing because I'm just a speculator, just joking around. But he's the president of the United States of America. So there's two things going on here. Either A, it's like major distraction and he's making jokes and he's, you know, what do they say? He's trolling people, which you shouldn't do on, you know, the people that look up to you, to appreciate you, that want you to do a great job as president. Don't want you to be retruthing weird things, which just totally destroys your credibility unless it's really true. And this is the year of revelation. So that's what I get excited about because I'm telling you, we're living in some kind of a crazy movie. A movie where people are concerned if someone shows up to a meeting with a little bit of a black eye. It looked like Botox to me. I'm not saying that he is. He's my age. I think I'm a little bit older. He's probably like thousands of years old, right? He's probably been doing this a long time. He's probably running the show. And then, of course, a couple of people are like, oh, it's the worms. They got the worms. That theory that they're like these aliens that are like worms and they go into your eye and then they take over your host body. I'm surprised Trump didn't retruth that, but maybe that's next week. But the fact that he puts this out at such a time and he's making major moves. Jared Isaacman, remember him? Jared Isaacman, who went up there on the SpaceX thing, you know, and he was the first person launched within 50 years or something. That was like, it was like a picture of like, he looked like sperm. He looked like sperm. Remember that? Jared Isaacman? Well, Trump named him to be the head of NASA. You know, NASA? Some people say in Hebrew it means to deceive. But he was supposed to be the guy, Jared Isaacman. We talked about him on the show. He went through Senate hearings and everything else. But Trump all of a sudden's like, I'm pulling this nomination. He found out something. He doesn't like the connection that this guy has to somebody. And I wonder who that could be. Maybe the guy who shot him out of a PP rocket? You know? I mean, come on. President Donald Trump announced last Saturday that he is withdrawing his nomination of the tech billionaire Jared Isaacman after Trump advisor Elon Musk to lead NASA. In other words, he's connected to Elon. Elon and him depart. Of course, everybody's going to make it out like they hate each other, they're against each other, and maybe they are, right? Maybe they are. Who knows? Who cares in the grand scheme of things when you have a post about Joe Biden being a robot clone, right? That's like that should basically take over the airwaves, I would think. There's no more worrying about the digital books being opened onto everybody. Now, you know what's weird about that? Before it, I put a post out about Elon opening the books of life, the book of life that was being opened. So here we have such significant, revelatory events happening in the world. The guy who's in charge of everything is given the key by the guy who's in charge of everything. But then Donald the Trumpster, then what does he do? He's making a deal with Palantir. He taps Palantir to create, get this, a master database of every American, where you got everybody going, he pulled the rug on from underneath us. We didn't think he was going to do this. It's like digital surveillance. I told you digital surveillance was coming. Palantir is a big company. There's another one called Snowflake. You remember I did a whole video about how it was about a digital ID that was coming. Snowflake was the theme of the Olympics. Remember the Obamas and everyone? Just watch. Does this New Year's Eve picture from Michelle Obama mean the mark of the beast has been taken? Well, if you look a little closer, it's a little freaky, I'll be honest. The word loading kind of denotes that something's being transmitted and kind of taking over, like a computer program. When things are loading, it's changing the memory of something. And you look up here and it looks kind of like a barcode. I mean, look, it kind of does, right? What's weird about all that is I pointed out that in those glasses, you saw what looked like a snowflake, but it also looked kind of like a chip, like a computer chip. I even gave an example. So imagine my surprise when here, all of a sudden, everybody's reaching out to me and saying, did you see the Olympics opening ceremony? Which happened, I guess, post this short that I did. And it featured snowflakes. Like, snowflakes everywhere you look. Now I know what you're saying. You're saying, Jacob, what's the big deal? It's the Winter Olympics, right? Snowflakes make sense. And that's what I thought too. But something inside of me, something was like eating away at me and saying, okay, let's dig a little deeper. Let's find out what this is. So, I start looking into snowflakes. And what do I find? Oh, it's weird. Because you see, there are a lot of people out there, and I'm not saying I'm one of them, okay, that think that they want everybody tracked, and snowflakes are called IDs. It's a unique identifier. That's strange. It's like a tag, right? It's a unique identifier used in distributed computing. The format was created by Twitter. Now it's used as IDs for tweets. Snowflake's an ID, huh? So now everybody's shocked. Well, guess what? This is what happens, If you're not living the way you're supposed to live, you're going to get the ruler that you deserve. And if there's something coming in that they're aware of that I keep talking about, then you would probably want to have like a database, something. I don't know how good a database is going to be if, you lose some kind of a solar flare or something. Where does that digital database leave you? Whatever. But the books are being opened. Here we have Elon departing, and here we see, President Donald Trump, cozying up to Peter Thiel, who is his buddy. I mean, the two of them, they go hand in hand, right? They're like peanut butter and chocolate in the Reese's peanut butter cups. Trump's dystopian plan already underway. This is from like the New York Times, right? Remember them? Elon just bashed them in the Oval Office after saying how great the trim was in the building.
Wait, isn't this incredible? Like this incredible, it's stunning, I think. The way that the Oval Office, how the president has just completely redone the Oval Office is beautiful. I love the gold on the ceiling.
Thank you. It's really nice.
Yeah.
That's been there a long time. That was plaster. Nobody ever really saw it. They didn't know the eagle was up there, and we highlighted. Essentially it's a landmark, a great landmark, and That's 24 karat gold, and everybody loved it, and now they all see it when they come in, so it's been good.
The Oval Office finally has the majesty that it deserves thanks to the president.
I love that he's in the moment, you know? I love that he's in the moment. Isn't this an interesting world that we're in? And the people that are in charge of our country now, it's gotten really comical. The New York Times reports that President Trump has enlisted the firm founded by far-right billionaire Peter Thiel to carry out his March executive order instructing government agencies to share data with each other. The order has increased fears that the government's putting together a database to wield surveillance powers. Oh, you mean like from the Patriot Act? We already have surveillance powers. As if this is something new. We knew this was coming. A lot of people didn't see Cory Booker coming out and doing the whole "I'm giving my heart to the world" salute. You know that salute? That salute that Elon did? That's what I mean. It's a show, okay? Nobody ever does that in normal life. They go up. You know, Elon was like, I was willing to think, okay, maybe he was really excited in the moment. But when you get this meatball over here, Cory Booker, who's on the other side of the coin doing the exact same thing in the exact same way, just so what? We can point out the fact that, that one side's really bad because we're going to have to become a one-sided party. Don't you get it? This is where we're going. A Uni-party. It's going to happen. I put the test out a while ago. Anyway, what do you think? You think Biden's a clone? You think he's a robot clone? This is getting ridiculous. It's getting really stupid. All right, listen, I love each and every one of you. I got to get back to work. I had a tree, a huge, like, a top of my tree. I mean, it was like a tree. Fell off of my tree. Thankfully, didn't hit my house, which is right next to my house, right in the front yard. Huge tree. Ironically, yesterday, I get like a card from a tree service guy just on my front porch. I'm like, oh, this guy's looking for business. The next day, or I should say not the next day, 10 hours later, a tree falls down in my yard. I called the guy up. I said, hey, come on over. He's like, oh, I'll be there at 8. 9 o'clock, I'm texting. He's like, oh, I'll be there in half an hour. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to take care of this myself. The world is weird. We're living in strange times. Just enjoy your life. Enjoy your life and love each other. And do me a favor, support the channel by sharing the channel around, share the video around, hit like, leave me a comment, go into the description of the video, get yourself some of the merch. All available. There are links there. And have the best day ever. I love each and every one of you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
September 10th. Mars hangs closer to the Earth than it has in 6,000 years. Like the light that led men from the east to a child in a manger, it could well be a sign of good things to come. Thomas James shall be his name. The world will change because of him. In the small town of Bethel, in a time not unlike our own, a child with a great purpose is born. Years later, alienated by his peers and abused, Thomas suffers a devastating loss. When it appears he has nothing left to live for in the world, this is when his true calling begins. While trying to escape the sinister powers that be, a terrifying vision haunts him. Miraculous events seem to follow the peculiar young man as he struggles to come to terms with what he was born to do. The stage is set. The time is at hand. The truth will rise and a revolution will begin. The startling revelation of who Thomas James is, truly, will change the lives of those around him and set off a chain of events long ago foretold. There is more to this novel than one might think. Inside these pages hides a treasure just waiting to be discovered. So if you've ever wondered if there's more to life, or why it is we suffer, then this story will not only captivate you, it may just open your eyes to a truth that could set you free. Find out what is in us all that makes us heed the calling.
Click it.